The commercial capital of Côte d'Ivoire, Abijan, plays host to the 2025 Africa CEO Forum for the next 2 days. The forum will convene with over 2,000 CEOs, investors, heads of state, and ministers to discuss the pressing economic issues facing the African continent. Arise Business Correspondent Rotus Oddiri joins us live from Abijan. Good morning, Rotus. Okay, Rotus.
Good morning, Dr. Abati. Good morning, Vimbai. Good morning, Adifemi and everybody, and our viewers out there.
Okay, can we start with the theme
Bonjour.
of the forum this year and the discussions around it against uncertainties in the global economy, against the background of uncertainties?
Yeah, Dr. Abati,
in the global economy?
yes. That's right. Dr. Abati, you yourself have talked a lot about the uncertainty right now. Africa is in a precarious position simply because economic nationalism is what is the theme now. And in fact, basically, actually, the theme is Africa in a transactional world. I wish I was with you all in the studio to talk about the new Boeing 747 jets that is the US government that is getting from the Qatari royal family. So this transactional world with the Asia, the Americas, and the Middle East all looking at bilateral deals, where does Africa fit in there? And the Africa CEO Forum is saying that it is the private sector, that Africa governments have to strike a new deal with the private sector based on three things. One, accountability of government to the private sector. Two, policies that that are supposed to focus on industrialization. And three, trade. Vimbai shared an article with me, I think it was last week, from This Day newspaper, Nigeria's newspaper of record. And the headline, the article actually said that ECOWAS was looking at reducing tariffs, aviation tariffs, in order to boost trade. So those are the kind of things that we'll be talking about.
Fantastic. Now, Rotus, who are some of the people who are going to grace the stage at the opening ceremony? You've given us, sort of a wider scope of what's going to be discussed, but, with regards to conversations on the stage, what are some of the topics to be discussed?
So, His Excellency Alassane Ouattara, President of the Federal Republic of Côte d'Ivoire, is actually starting now. He's actually going to be on stage as well as Makta Diop, Managing Director of the International Finance Corporation. Also, there will be a presidential panel. So, Cyril Ramaphosa of South Africa is going to be on that panel. Paul Kagame of Rwanda, the President of El Goussani, the President of Mauritius, the Vice President of Côte d'Ivoire, they will also have a panel as well, focused on integration within Africa. How can Africa stand on its own with everything that's happening around the world?
Oh, lovely, Rotus. I mean, you just touched on one presidential panel, but can you tell us about any other panels that we should be looking forward to ahead of these next 2 days at this event? And also talk to us about the prospect of any deals being signed today and tomorrow. What are you expecting?
Well, I understand that Access Bank is supposed to be signing a deal later on today. We're going to try to meet up with that and to check. I think it's with the AFC, the Africa Finance Corporation, if I have that correctly. We'll get more details on that later on. There are a couple other Nigerian banks that are here. But as far as the other discussions, it's going to be about digitization and boosting industrialization on the African continent. So technology, women in tech, also female leadership, climate. But the trade tensions really are the main the main theme here, but a lot of topics. The usual topic, electricity, Adifemi, electricity and how to, 600 million Africans don't have access to electricity. There's some people arguing me next door, right here. Maybe you can hear them. There's a lot of tension in the air, so basically a lot is being discussed. They're arguing in French, so I don't understand what they're saying. They're arguing in French.
Okay, let's go back to the theme. It says, can a new deal between the state and the private sector, lend Africa a winning hand? Now, we discuss this in almost every year. What is the difference this time around? Because some of the other themes they will be discussing is governance and accountability, the African Continental Free Trade Agreement, and all of that. These things are discussed every year. Is that CEO Forum not becoming a place just to talk and just pump hands and just take a short holiday? What do you think?
Dr. Abati, you're spot on. I mean, you bring this up every year with these different forums, and the public appreciates you for it because we want to make sure that these talks actually lead to something. Dr. Abati, it's going to be tough. Like that article I referred to in this state that Vimbai shared with me, it's going to be hard to try to reduce tariffs in aviation because a lot of these countries rely on these aviation tariffs to build airports. And I know that in today's this day, there's even a headline on, I think it was Business Correspondent or someone else saying that, yeah, I think it was Business Correspondent saying that a lot of airports in Nigeria are underutilized. So the thing here is that with the if you think about the volatility that has been caused by uncertainty from trade policy from the US, that is chasing away capital that's supposed to come into Africa. So they're seeking safe havens. Dr. Abati, you talk about gold almost every morning and the new highs that gold is reaching because investors are worried and pushing capital into those safe havens. So the opportunity cost of going into those safe havens is money that could be coming into Africa for development. So they are really going to be focused on, listen, this handshake between the private sector and governments, can you make sure your policies do favor the private sector so you can induce them to invest in the industrialization of the African continent since we can't really, even aid, thank you, sorry, I forgot about that. The US aid matter, the fact that it's going to be impacting healthcare infrastructure in Africa, all that. So it's basically, look, Africa is on its own. Other nations are focusing on themselves. We have to stand on our own 2 feet. So I think there's extra emergency here for this year, hopefully, Dr. Abati.
Okay, thank you very much, Rotus. Abijan is familiar territory for you. So take time out and have fun on the side.